Welcome back to streamed action here in Milton Keynes for the PDC Summer Series. I'm Paul Nicholson and I'm glad to bring you this blockbuster match in round number 1 of day 2. And two heavyweight dart players looking to find their way into the next round to play against another heavyweight of the modern game in Nathan Aspinall, who started his campaign with a 6-2 win over Kiet Nentjes. Mitchell, who is very, very sharp at this point in time after playing a lot during lock. And is looking to get his first win of the week. Not
25.
To use his green and gold shirt again today, just using something a little plainer, but can't say anything plain about Scott Mitchell's shirt, the usual
bullseye,
pink
so
and
Scott's
black,
won the ball,
as he gets the red to start his campaign for today. Mitchell yesterday didn't play poorly, but wasn't able to get over the line in round 1 against Al. Similar average to the St Helens thrower.
180.
Had an early bath. Gets an early 180 here to immediately tell Whitlock what kind of form he's in. Whitlock had a better day yesterday than Mitchell. Had a better day than most players. He played very, very well against Christian Bunser in round 1, getting a 6-4 victory there. Played even better against Josh Payne in round 2, but came up against
95.
Very good Rob Cross in the last 32, where he lost 6 legs to 3. How easy it is for Whitlock sometimes to get those dots so close together, and he equalises the 180 early. Not so much a clash of styles or generations, but a clash of pace. You can never really rush Scotty Dog into playing faster. He's just going to do his own thing. But Whitlock does have a few different paces about his game. When he gets really comfortable, he does speed up. And does the fact that Whitlock played on the stream board yesterday early come to his advantage, because he will be used to the slightly more alienated atmosphere in this hall. I'm sure there are a lot of you fans watching on PDC TV right now who are very glad to see Simon Whitlock back on the stream board. Has been a great entertainer at the top of the PDC game for over a decade now.
Game shot.
And Mitchell gets himself off the mark very, very quickly. See that slow meander back to the position behind the exclusion zone, which is being introduced because of social distancing here in MK. But the slow walk back is not in any way, shape or form a tactic by Scott Mitchell. It is something that he has cultivated over the years to help him with his mental game. Sometimes he counts out the amount of steps that he does, and it allows him to focus.
140.
So far so good, but Whitlock has responded very well on his throw in leg number 2. And even if Mitchell maxes here, he's still going to be behind.
125.
Yeah, some good stats for Whitlock yesterday. Averages all in the mid to high 90s.
105.
That's encouraging for a player who was under a lot of pressure in this summer series. His place at the World Match Play is by no means certain, even though he is in the top 16 in the world currently.
85.
76 left after 9 is very tidy scoring from Captain Whitlock. Well, that's a very unusual dart.
58.
It's almost like he was going for the gap between the dart and the 60. Could have been bitten by the bust shot there. If indeed he was going for the larger portion of the 20 bed and deflected off that first dart.
100.
It didn't seem to faze him. He didn't wipe his brow or anything like that. Just comes back for double nine.
Game shot.
To get it done right in the middle. And we know he likes double nine because it has been said on a 78 checkout he will go 60 for double nine because they're at the same height on the dartboard. I mentioned Whitlock's precarious situation with the World Match Play.
82.
Which isn't too far away now. We should all afford ourselves a little bit of excitement for the return of major darts. I'm sure that you guys are just glad to be having live action back on your screens. I know we are. Yesterday was phenomenal with the crescendo of that incredible final of MVG and Wright. But Whitlock currently is still in the top 16. He's number 14 in the world.
140.
That may not be for very long because Ratajski yesterday, getting to the semi-finals, losing out to MVG, the amount of prize money that he gained
75.
yesterday put him within 250 points or 250 pounds of Simon Whitlock at number 15 for Ratajski. So if Ratajski has a better day than Whitlock today, he will jump up in the world rankings. And
99.
Whitlock will get closer to being relegated from the elite portion of the game. And Glenn Duran at number 16 is not far behind.
78.
Mitchell will be hoping 140 here. Textbook stuff.
140.
Made it look easy. And when he's playing well, he does make it look easy. Whitlock has to break Scott Mitchell in this match.
100.
There was a match yesterday between Jeffrey Desvan and Robert Thornton where you felt that one break was going to be enough. It wasn't in the end. But the last thing you want to do is leave Scott Mitchell on tops. Misses for tens.
Game shot.
And gets himself 2-1 in front. Whitlock not getting close enough on the Mitchell throw as of yet. But now the immediate plan is to hold his throw and have
41.
an assault on the Mitchell throw in leg 5. Now you may think that Whitlock getting to number 16 in the world, if he's overtaken by the likes of Durant and Ratajski, well, surely he's safe in 16th.
60.
Well, he's going to be about 15,000 in front of Stephen Bunting in 17th, but that can be bridged, of course, if someone has a big run.
56.
Likes of Bunting, Cullen and Johnny Clayton can still, for me, make the top 16 by the end of this week. And if that was to happen, Whitlock would need a big run in a Players' Championship to get himself up in the other qualification list where he has languished very, very low.
100.
Mitchell is going to find, at the very worst, scores of ton and 60. He's going to force you to do things like that.
180.
And fair play to the man with the dreadlocks. He found that 180 at a really good time after a very dodgy start to this fourth leg.
$140.
These guys don't actually live that far apart. They live in neighbouring counties. Simon lives in Hampshire on the south coast of England.
100.
Mitchell one county over to the left on the south coast in Dorset. Could say it's a bit of a county rivalry match, but then again, Simon has never represented Hampshire
60.
and worn the sky blue that the likes of Colin Monk, Andy Jenkins and James Wade have in the past. But he does have the Hampshire Sky Blue on his shirt today.
92.
Interestingly, Whitlock did not go for 14 bull there. I think that's pretty courageous considering the prowess of Mitchell. Is he going to be bitten? He's not on this occasion. And when someone does that to you, they negate the opportunity of the 14 bull, for example.
109.
You want to prove to them that they should have gone the other way. Whitlock has got away with it this time.
Game shot.
And has got a lovely crisp double 16 to level at 2-all. And now he has to put the plan in place to try and break sooner rather than later. He doesn't want to leave it to the very last leg, where potentially Mitchell will have the throw to serve it out.
140.
Looking around the boards, the heavy hitters of the game have had a very good start to today.
100.
See Nathan Aspinall get through. The likes of MVG winning 6-2 against Willie O'Connor with another 100 average. Ratajski through 6-2 against Dave Pallett with a 99 average. Very much a Ratajski game, that. Ian White winning 6-1 against Cameron Menzies with a 113 average. Maybe Ian White is going to have a bit of a run today. But all of those big guys like Wade, he's won. Chisnell has won.
95.
Darryl Gurney's won against Steve West 6-1. That's a good win for Darryl after he had an early exit yesterday. Mensa Sulevic with a 6-0 victory over on the other stream board with 107 average.
140.
But Danny Nobbert has gone out, as has Michael Smith. They've both lost 6-5.
171.
Whitlock backed himself on that last dart. He could have easily gone for the 25 to try and leave the 170. But the lie was good. Will he get a shot at the 135? Likelihood, no.
Game shot.
Most definitely not. With a textbook 11 darter there, Scott Mitchell, 3 140s and an 81 and 2. That is very tidy indeed. And Mitchell is telling Whitlock, you're not going to break me. But then again, Whitlock's saying the same about himself. What a great game of darts so far, with both of them averaging over 100. Mitchell slightly better.
100.
High quality match, and I was expecting this from these two combatants, especially from Mitchell, who
100.
has played a lot of online darts in the last 2 or 3 months, has kept incredibly sharp, as well as doing all the work down on the farm in Dorset. Monitoring his social feeds, where he
60.
comically posted his lockdown hair locks last week before he got them trimmed.
140.
Whitlock's turn to leave 81 after 9. But as well as staying sharp on the dartboard, Mitchell has been baling hay in the middle of the night with the entire team down on the farm. Can't imagine the hours he's been pulling.
190.
Gets to a finish from 341. Can Whitlock respond in kind and get the 81 after the equivalent of 3 140s?
49.
This is the outer ring, and Mitchell's looking for the big 6-dart conversion here from 341 in 6. Looking to pressurise that 32 of Whitlock.
137.
Nobody has made a mistake yet. Double 8.
Game shot.
Oh, that's a nice little deflection, isn't it? Because that was not a pure dart. It's almost like he hit the flight and told it to get out of the way. I've got a job to do to hit double 8, and he's just done that. Somewhat fortuitously. Monstrous averages, like you can see. 107 for Mitchell, 102 for Whitlock.
140.
This is what you expect from the elite of world darts. Especially at this time of the year. Even though they've had a big break, they've all had plenty of time to prepare.
140.
And our official Owen Binks has not got a difficult job in this game because it's all tons, 140s and 180s pretty much, until I said that.
81.
But even with that first dart one, Mitchell finds his way to the 60 eventually.
$100.
Well, Mitchell is here as a non-tour card holder, being one of the heaviest hitters on the Challenge Tour at the start of the year. He was invited to participate because of the fact that some tour card holders could not be here. The likes of Cristo Reyes, Damon Heta, Kyle Anderson.
140.
Might not have taken advantage of it yesterday, but there's every chance, in my opinion, that Mitchell could be a huge spoiler for a lot of people here over the 5 days. Does like the atmosphere at these floor events, very organised, and he likes things organised. Possibly Whitlock can get the break here.
Game shot.
Oh, Whitlock is starting to kick. I mentioned nobody had made a mistake. They hadn't up to them, but then it was genius that got Whitlock across the line in leg 7 to get the first break of this match. Mitchell hasn't done anything wrong, but Whitlock was just better in that moment.
$57.
What is it about the times in his career where the media, the analysts within the game, and even people like myself have said, he's getting a bit older now. He's slipping down the rankings a bit. His position is precarious. Look at yesterday. Look at this today. Whitlock is responding.
$134.
I fear to think how much tinkering and tailoring he's been doing in his workshop down in Waterlooville in Hampshire. Keeping himself in tune with his own game. And who's to say
140.
that he couldn't go on a bit of a run today and find his way into the winner's circle again? One of the most successful PDC players in history.
96.
Think about his first year on the Pro Tour. He was dynamic, constantly winning titles over everybody. They're what I like to call the oblivious days. You don't understand the pressure that
59.
other people are under, and you just get on with it and you play with your own confidence. That's what you have when you come out of Q school. You think you're invincible. You think you're going to beat everybody. But once you get a bit of emotional scarring
58.
and you have to start defending prize money, that's where you find out what kind of player you really are. Whitlock has been through the mill many, many times in the last decade. Mitchell doesn't have the pressure on his shoulders of he's expected to make the match play.
60.
He's defending prize money. He doesn't have any of that. He can just play darts here and try to beat Whitlock. So this makes what Simon is doing even more impressive. Double 18 for a 156.
Game shot.
Oh, Simon Whitlock. This is old school Whitlock. See in the background there, just in the corner of the screen. He's not shouting it, but he's miming it. Come on. Great performance. And even with Mitchell raising his average by 10 today
140.
from yesterday's first match, it's still not enough.
$180.
Well, I say it's vintage Whitlock, but this is better than vintage Whitlock. Who's to say he's not going to have one of those periods of his career in the next couple of years where he starts to rack up the titles again. He does do it in clusters. There's a period a couple of years ago where he won 4 titles in about 5 or 6 months. And one of those was against Michael van Gerwen in Dublin.
57.
If he keeps playing like this today, which is a big ask, he's going to be a threat.
$85.
Saw a flash on your screen there. The biggest checkout that Mitchell's had is 81. Biggest one for Whitlock, 156. But don't forget about that 1-2-1, which was enormous in the scheme of the game. That was the first break. And another 180 from Whitlock. What a performance this has been. And he is going to get a shot at that 84 to bookend this performance.
$136.
The way that Whitlock has played here, if he can get rid of the 84, Nathan Aspinall is going to have his hands full. This time he'll go 14 bull. He didn't earlier. He guarantees the single.
59.
Whitlock misses 1 match dart. Mitchell, 4 visits to here.
Game shot.
1 dart to negotiate tops. He knew before that leg began that he had to win 3 straight. 1 down and 2 to go. Can Whitlock put himself in position for the match again?
96.
I have thoroughly enjoyed this match. If this is what we're going to get on Stream 2 and Stream 1 for the rest of the day, don't go anywhere. Tell your friends about the day passes
60.
and the yearly membership that you can have for all of this beautiful action that will include other tournaments in the future.
$140.
More good stuff from Whitlock. This time he takes the lead on the throw and forces Mitchell to now score 2 treble 20s just to get close.
83.
I don't think that's enough because Whitlock will go 19s now. We'll try and leave 1-3-2, if not better.
$101.
Chose against going to the 19s again to leave 170 and went to the 25 to leave the 164. I think that was very prudent considering the probability sometimes of the way he throws the darts is very fierce. He might
100.
have displaced one of those darts inadvertently. 164 with 6 will get the job done. We'll look at the bullseye again.
64.
Evens up the score to leave a ton. For me, there's only been one mistake in this match, and that's the fact that Whitlock has missed a match dart. And it was at the bull.
140.
Mitchell puts himself in position in case Whitlock misses again. How many match darts? If any. Because now he can't finish that. And Mitchell here has a very realistic chance to take us to leg 11. It's that magical number that we've had many a discussion about. It's got to be 61st. There it is. This is right in Mitchell's wheelhouse.
98.
He misses a dart, and he knows that Whitlock should get one more chance to finish this off. It's been a scintillating contest. Single required. Oh, he's missed the big one. That's the mistake that Mitchell was waiting for. And it's a mistake that we didn't
40.
expect. Could Mitchell be the favourite for the match now? Whitlock's done only 1 or 2 things wrong in this whole match. 1 or 2 darts. That's all it has been.
Game shot.
Mitchell takes advantage. We go to leg 11 unexpectedly. And now Mitchell will throw to win it. If Whitlock loses this game, not only will he feel very, very salty indeed, but he will go down
100.
a position in the world rankings. Because Ratajski's already won a game today. And I know that's small fry, and he could rebound tomorrow, but
95.
how is Whitlock feeling right now after missing that golden opportunity to get a second match dart? I've watched a lot of Scott Mitchell in the last few months playing darts, and this is where he really excels with that mental strength of his.
100.
He will stay straight and will guarantee things like ton, ton, ton. He'll grind you down.
96.
Good thinking from Whitlock to leave 310. He wanted a little bit more than that, but by guaranteeing 310, he knows that now it's 140 to get to a finish. If he comes up short on the first start, he might have to utilise the
45.
left and right portions of the oche. But he's definitely not out of this match. Tremendous second dart.
100.
An even better third. Edge of the seat is worn down here in Milton Keynes. I'm going to have to get a new chair. It's my first game of the day. Look at the despair on the face of Mitchell, who has 191 and cannot use the 25 to leave a finish.
85.
But he does get the 60. That was courageous. Well, that was a hook.
82.
But a great last start. You'd much rather be Whitlock, potentially. This is a very tricky finish. 3 perfect darts required. There is no get-out clauses with 131. It has to be perfect.
57.
But this time, Whitlock has to guarantee a shot for the match. He cannot miss the singles if he fails to get the 60. Now the 18 has to be guaranteed. Another bullseye for the match.
63.
Hits the 25. And they're the chances he's had to get this done. Could have won quite a few legs ago. Mitchell's hit a 9. So now he has to guarantee the single for the bull. Bullseye. Oh, he's hit the shot that Whitlock missed twice. What a game that really was. They want to shake hands, but they're not allowed to. But Mitchell gave that man a towel, sweating on the brow, and Whitlock now has to start looking down at the rankings. What a match that was. Don't go anywhere as Keegan Brown and Harry Ward come back. You can see the emotion on Mitchell's face. What a match that was.